Now you can talk across the Atlantic. New system assures two-way conversation. By Edwin Ketchum. Popular Science Monthly, July 1925. If someday in the next half year or so, you lift your telephone receiver from the hook and hear the operator say, "Just a moment, please, London wants you," don't laugh and hang up the receiver in the belief that someone is playing a joke on you. If you do, the joke will be decidedly on yourself, for direct two-way telephone connection between the interior of the United States and the interior of England even now is an accomplished fact. And within a few months, calling up London or the continent from any part of this country will be no more remarkable than calling New York from Chicago is now. For several years, secret experiments have been in progress to bring about two-way commercial telephone service between this and the Eastern Hemisphere. The experiments have been successful, and facilities will soon be available for the inland telephone subscriber on either side of the Atlantic to make transoceanic calls. Both radio and wire telephony are employed. A man in Georgia, say, desiring to call London, would merely signal his local exchange operator. The operator would put through the call over land telephone lines to a radio transmitting station on the coast. Their connection would be made between the telephone line and the radio transmitter, and the message would be carried over the Atlantic on the ether. On the English coast, a radio station would receive the message and transmit it over telephone lines to the person called. Since England is connected with the continent by telephone, calls could be made to Paris or other European cities. The radio stations, of course, would operate both transmitting and receiving apparatus for transatlantic calls, so that two-way communication would be established as over an ordinary telephone line. Transatlantic telephone conversations have been successfully carried on by this method at various times within the last few weeks, according to advices from England. The American Telephone and Telegraph Company has had telephone service of a sort to Great Britain for the last 2 years. That is, messages could be sent to England by radio, then delivered by telephone to any part of Great Britain. England, however, had no apparatus for sending messages to us. Now, though, the British Post Office is building a high-power radio station at Rugby, which, with the Radio Corporation station at Rocky Point, make transatlantic telephone service a convenience that will be available to all of us soon.